Good afternoon. My name is Axel Colon. I'm an occupational therapy student from UTEP. Um, what is your name?
My name is Nathaniel Elias.
Nathaniel Elias.
Or Nathaniel Lopez Elias.
We're going to be going over an occupational profile. It's going to take about 5 minutes. This is an area where we're going to find our interest, your interests in the occupations, how you engage in them. So what occupations are you engaged in? When I mean occupations, I mean play, do music, leisure, vacation, those occupations.
Okay. I swim, I do yoga. Other than that, I do lots of bureaucratic and office work. It's most of my time.
Good deal. And your personal interests and values?
That's broad. Personal interests for entertainment, I guess anything that other people do, video games, music, movies, lots of broad media interests. Beliefs. I know my tribe is mostly Catholic, but I'm not. Or Christian, I should say. Christian is probably the better term. But I am not. I think that covers most of it.
Good deal. Your occupational history, like what are your life experiences and things that you have done?
I've done, education-wise, I've gotten all the way through my bachelor's up at UTEP. I got a BFA, double bachelor in metalsmithing and drawing. I've lived in Virginia as a physical therapist. What else? Swam all my life, I guess.
Good deal. And when we look at your things that you do on a regular basis, routine, habits, what would you think there are the most determining routines and roles and habits that you have? Not roles, but patterns, routines, and habits.
I guess recreationally, I divide my time a lot between swimming, certain video gaming, working on art, lots of hands-on stuff, mostly sculptural, and certain meditative exercises, I guess. Memory exercises, I know, just because I have a lot to keep track of, so it's good to just recite things, I guess. Things like that.
Okay, good deal. And I'm going to ask you now about elements that support or hinder your occupational engagement, whether it's your swimming, your video gaming, your job here as a manager of the cultural center. The physical structures here within your community, do they support or hinder your engagement in occupations?
They're very supportive. They enable me to do a lot of things, make a lot of renovations to the center, and make constant upgrades. We work a lot together to plan and improve the functionality of this facility, so they're very helpful.
Okay.
Very helpful, very supportive.
And socially, is there a hindrance here? They're not only within this community, but El Paso and surrounding communities.
Yeah, I'd say the biggest hindrance is that communities generally are divided between groups, or at least in El Paso from my experience.
What do you mean?
Like, my tribe has certain, I guess, expectations and things they like to do as a group in a community, and I would say that the city government as a community on its own also does similar things. So you're working with two groups sometimes, and you kind of have to come to an agreement as you would with any other groups that are different. So sometimes that can make certain things go slower or just not happen.
Do you have an example? Maybe like
No, not really.
like a foundation or
No.
cultural,
Cultural? What do you mean?
social areas that can support you or hinder your occupational engagement? Like, have you been seen any areas that you're not able to engage yourself in because of your culture, or do you see yourself that it supports your occupations?
I'd say culturally, it's really easy to work with other people, mostly because people don't know too much about us, so they're generally very receptive to learning about us and our culture. and it can make talking to people really fun and engaging. I've never had any negative experiences in El Paso, though sometimes I have run into older people that do, or not older people, just people in general. They can be a little ignorant of just us in general, and it varies from they think we still live outside in huts and have no access to internet to maybe we're just weird people, like nobody knows. So it's kind of fun to help people learn about us.
Personal factors that support or hinder your engagement in occupations, that is your age, education, socioeconomic status, income.
I guess my age would be the biggest one for me.
Supportive?
No, negative. I guess I look young, and I guess I kind of am young, so sometimes I do have to work a little harder
For a
to,
disposition?
yeah, to maybe convince people that I can do my job.
Doing a good job. Temporal, we're talking about stages of life and time. You know, do you have areas that you are engaged more now or not? I guess it would be related to your age, you know. So at this stage of time, do you feel more that you have support or something that hinders you based on an occupation that you engaged in before? Like, have you stopped engaging in occupations based on your maturity level?
No, I think I'm pretty consistent.
Same.
I still play video games. I can be kind of childish in that regard sometimes, or not childish, but it might be considered childish because it's a thing that kids might do, but I enjoy it. I think I know how to space my time out evenly. I think with anything else that wastes time, essentially, moderation is key.
Good deal. In the virtual environment, you know, that's email, chat, does it support your occupation?
Oh, it absolutely supports it. It's great for networking. It helps me organize things with other museums, like the Archaeology Museum, the El Paso Museum of History, people at the Chamizal, people in other states. I think without those technological advances, it would be very difficult to organize events and make connections.
Good deal.
It makes the world a bigger place.
Okay. And what are your short, long-term goals? You know, looking at short, maybe 1 or 2 years, and between 10 years, long-term goals. Like, what do you see yourself?
I think in the very least, I would like to make sure that this facility is a more established destination as a museum. I definitely want to add more exhibits, more attractions, and connect us more with the, how do you say,
Community.
the educational community in El Paso, especially, like the other museums, so that when you go to one, you can kind of be connected to the others. And I would like to be more of a part of that. And I think improving the services and the attractions that we have here is a good first step towards that.
Good deal. Anything else?
No?
Oh, thank you for
Do you
your
have
time.
anything else?
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.